What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the third episode of Toz Talks. Obviously, the Christmas hat is on because it's Christmas season. Yay! I hope everyone's been well. It has been a long time. It's been a while. I have been lacking. That's my fault. Had to go pursue my educational prowess for a little bit. Get my grades right. And I did that. So now we get to have fun. Uh, yeah, but obviously it's Christmas season. Um, but that also means it's exam season. And I know all my university students, like, they can attest, bro. This shit is not a joke. And to that, I gotta say, man, like, I completely understand where you've been at, cause I've been there. Um, Honestly, just like it's one of those ones where you just gotta put your head down and like get to work. But like at the same time, like if you're not in it, like remember, your grades matter, but your mental health matters more. So if it's one of those ones where it's like, oh man, like I got like this, and this to study for, and I feel like shit, I'm burnt out. Like obviously you're gonna be burnt out because like there's a lot of shit you have to do. But in the grand scheme of things, like if it'll make it like any better by taking like a 10 minute, an hour break to like get yourself straight, like honestly, bro, it's probably worth it. So I definitely suggest that. Like, I don't know, it's one of those ones where it's like, oh, Tozy, you're just spitting obvious facts, and it's like it is obvious, but like when you're in it, it's like, oh yeah, maybe I should take a break, you know? Um, but with that being said, bro, like I know y'all finna body that shit. Like it's gonna be light work. You guys are gonna feel great afterwards, and that's what we love to hear. Um, but yeah, just get your exams done, crush that shit, and then you get to come home, spend time with your family during the holidays. New Year's, you could find yourself a nice New Year's kiss. Me personally, I will not be partaking in that event for obvious reasons. I do not get bitches, but for the rest of y'all, like, yo, do your thing, bro, do your thing. Yeah, so it's been a while. It has been a while. Let's see. What are we talking about today? There's so many different topics we could talk about today. Um, hmm. Okay. So I was talking with a couple friends earlier. Shout out shout out Lynn and Nolan. Um but yeah, I was having a conversation with them about like growing up because we were talking about like a person and like how we were looking at the photo and Lynn was like, "Oh yeah, the photo's like 2 years old by the way." I was like, "Okay, word." Like, because 2 years is a very long time. Like to put things into perspective, I'm actually not gonna wear this out the whole time, but to put things into perspective, this is obviously me now, the host of the Toz Talk podcast, Timothy himself, and then I'll show you a photo that my mom sent me, because obviously we rocking the braces. About to get them off next month, so I'm excited about that. But my mom sent me a photo. I absolutely just she just did me so dirty. Let's see if I can find it. God, it's such an ugly photo. But that's that's me. Uh, and it's crazy to think about because like, bro, time moves fucking fast. Like, I remember I don't know, bro. I hate talking about high school because it's like, oh yeah, he's bitching about how he was a loser in high school, duh. Like no one cares. Which is like valid, but yeah, man, like time moves on. Does something stay consistent? Cause like I remember, so I went to a private Catholic school in Sacramento, uh, in grade 9. And so part of the thing we had to do was we had to like write like goals for ourselves to like set or hit by senior year. And I remember very distinctly that one of the things I wrote had to do with like it was like be more self-confident when it comes to like talking to women and be like, yo, get a girlfriend, you know, because like back in the day, like you fucking grade 9, everyone's like, oh my gosh, get a girlfriend. Oh my god, yeah, I love women. Uh, which is like valid because like who doesn't love women? But at the same time, it's like, why am I as a grade 9 student putting such an emphasis on like the obtaining of a woman or like the obtaining of a partner? You know what I mean? Like it's like I don't know. Um, don't get me wrong. I have so many friends that are in relationships and they're great relationships. They're so cute. I love them so much. But it's like one of those things where it's like societally, you know, in society, why are we placing such an emphasis on like, oh yeah, if you don't have a woman, you're a bitch. If you have a woman, keep that woman. But at the same time, in like modern culture, the like idea of cheating is so like evident. So it's like, oh yeah, if you don't have a girlfriend, you're a bitch. If you have a girlfriend, cheat on that bitch. Like what? Like I don't know. Like I've never been in a relationship. I think I've been close. I don't know. In the modern this is me era, which has not existed that long. I don't know. Like I enjoy, not enjoy. I think the idea of being humbled is so like it's so crucial for not only like me, not only guys, but like everyone in general. Because like how are some of these niggas walking around campus as an example. How are some of these niggas walking around campus thinking they're the shit when everyone and their mom does not fuck with them and no one is out here humbling them? Like, dog, you're just a bad friend. You're a bad individual that associates with them. And like, people are gonna be like, oh no, I don't associate with them. Like, then fucking do something. Like, fix your boy, fix your girl, or get the fuck up out of here. Like, I don't know. I've definitely been humbled. I mean, just look at this fucking photo, bro. Look at that nigga. Would you give this nigga a chance? No, because no one gave that nigga a chance. But this nigga, no one's giving this nigga a chance. And that's fine. That is 1000% fine. Because it's just not my time. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those where it's like, shit, it's just not for me. And that's perfectly fine. Because that means I get to grind the Fortnite Battle Pass in peace and be left alone. Don't get me wrong. I would like a good morning, beautiful text. Ow, what the fuck? I lied. I would love a good morning love text, you know, every now and again be like, "Aw, she cares about me." But that's not for me. I get to sit here and be the host of the greatest podcast of all time, Toz Talks, on episode 3. I'm so happy to be here. Um, no, but like when it comes to like I don't know. I took a women and gender studies class this past summer with my boy David. I think it was WGS 370. It was like low sex and identity. And we talked about the idea of like um there was one lecture I was doing one of my readings and it talked about the societal pressure to be in a relationship and with this the discrimination of like single individuals because it's like why aren't you in a relationship, you know, like obviously there are cases where like people are busy with like school and like educational pursuing their educational prowesses and like you know their workforce life, but then it's like when you're stable in those institutions it's like bro you could get a girlfriend, you know what I mean, you could have a boyfriend, like go find someone. And I think for me as a university student, it's a lot easier to do that, because like obviously I'm surrounded by people like 24/7. If only I knew how to talk to them. That's a different thing though. Yeah, like I'm like I see them like there's a lot of attractive women at my school. So for me, it's like, oh yeah, like you have the opportunity to go like meet someone because of the place you're in, like you guys share surroundings, so like good. Whereas for people like some of my friends that are like in the workforce, it's like it's significantly harder for them to like find a partner. Um, because like I've had cases where like I'll be talking to one of my friends that doesn't go to school, and I'll be like, oh yeah, bro, so and so is like so attractive, like I think I have a thing for her, and all this stuff, and then he'd like look at me and he'd be like, dude, you don't understand how lucky you have it when it comes to like meeting people. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? Because like I don't know, I just wasn't thinking. He was like, oh yeah, man, like I go to work like fucking 7 to 5, like I'm working like I don't really meet people like that. And I was like, oh yeah, like I don't know, that really put things in a perspective for me because I was like, wow, like obviously people don't go to university to date, right? Like that's not the reason why they go. They go to university to obviously pursue an education, like get the qualifications for like whatever occupation or like uh thing they want to do in their life after. It's just like understandable. Like I think if you aren't going to school with your primary intention being to do something with your life after, then it's like I don't really know what you're doing. Like you're low-key spending or you're low-key just wasting money. But like I feel like an unseen or maybe like an underviewed I guess advantage of like going to school is that like the social aspect and like I don't know. First year university, I've already talked about this, but like my first year university was very like I was very isolated because obviously COVID, so I was online first semester and the second semester like I would go to school but I'd sit by myself because like I didn't know anyone and it was just just a very unsocial year. And then obviously like in my second year and started like uh my third year now, it's like it's gotten to the point where I can be social and like I enjoy going to school for the social aspect because I'm like, oh yeah, I get to go chill with my friends, I get to like do this and that. And like I really do like that. And like I don't know, it makes me sad sometimes when I see like some people that like go to campus for class and then they cut and then there's same people talking about like, oh yeah, the school sucks. I'm like you're not even giving it a chance, man. Like, if you meet someone that's like social enough on campus and then they introduce you to your friends, maybe you'll be more inclined to like the school or like hang out more. But like, I don't know, especially because I live so far from campus, it's like I couldn't maintain being unhappy socially in my educational institution. Like I had to like do something to be better. Um, but I don't know. As someone who's been single for going on 20 years, I've realized like don't get me wrong, a relationship is like a beautiful thing when it's done right. And if it's not done right, like it's fucked. It's one of those things where it's like I don't know. In my head, I view a relationship as like it's like it's a good thing, right? But it can so easily turn into a bad thing. And that's the thing, like when I see some relationships and like some like people fall out, I'm like, communication is like the biggest thing in the world and people act like it's unattainable. And I'm like, I don't know, I feel like some of it can be chalked up to like, oh yeah, they're just like not mature enough to like understand it. And like I don't want to hype myself up and be like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, like I'm so mature. I totally understand like the idea of communication." Which like I don't know. I don't want to like hype myself up because obviously if I knew communication, maybe I wouldn't be in the spot I am. But like I don't know. Being single is an interesting thing, especially in my age in university, because it's like I I don't know. When I talk to my friends about it, they're like, "Bro, you could easily be in a relationship. Bro, you could easily pull like any girl." And I feel gross saying those words because it just makes me sound like the fattest egoist in the world. And I don't mean to be, but like especially like because I grew up being, in my opinion, less attractive, point in case, when I look at myself now, I'm like, I believe I'm at the point where I'm like, I think I'm attractive enough. You know, if there's a scale, right? And obviously, like, beauty's subjective. Everyone's beautiful in their own way. But in my personal opinion, I believe I'm at like, maybe I don't know if it has something to do with like physical attraction or more so like maybe I've matured to the point where I feel like, oh yeah, like he's an attractive person, but I believe like I'm generally like a not ugly person. You know, like if I walk into a room, I'm not expecting every girl in there to be like, "Ooh, who's that?" You know, 'cause that's just unrealistic. But I feel like if I walk into a room and I'm wearing a nice outfit, um, I don't know, someone would be like, "Oh," you know, not like a "ooh," maybe just like a "oh," you know, like they'll acknowledge my presence, which is what this nigga just wanted. This nigga wanted to be appreciated. Yeah, but when it comes to like relationships, I don't really understand the societal pressure surrounding it because it's like it kind of discredits like the legitimacy of single individuals and what they bring to the table. Um, which like I don't know. It's one of those like if you look at it from feminist theory, right? Women have been fighting for equality for decades, right? And the idea that like women are less than men based on genetics or societal standards based like societal standards surrounding like taking care of the kids, taking care of the family and all that, like it's just it's so outdated. And I see that in my own life, like with my mom being like the primary breadwinner of our household, right? So the same way, I feel like I don't know, discrediting like the legitimacy of single individuals. It's like it's just so unnecessary. Like, don't get me wrong, being in a relationship sounds so fun. Like I feel like, you know, the idea of like being loved and shit, it's like I want that. Like who doesn't want that? But at the same time, it's like I don't need that. I think it's a very big distinction that should be made between like a person's wants and needs. And I feel like just look at what grade nine me writing about, oh, get a girlfriend by senior year. Like I should be writing about like, yo, get scholarships, yo, get a 90 GPA or 90 average. I'm talking about, oh, get a girlfriend. And that's because I didn't talk to women. I was very like shy, awkward, like I don't know. It was just looking back at it now, um, I kind of see where I was coming from, only because like everyone around me was placing such an emphasis on like women and like relationships, but on top of that, it was kind of just like, oh, like I've been such a socially awkward child my entire life. Um, no woman would love me. No woman would like me. Um, And so I guess like grade 9 me wanted to be like, yo, fix up for senior year. And here I am 3 years into university. And obviously that hasn't changed, but it has in a way that I'm happy about because like I'm not ugly. I feel like I'm confident enough. Like I'm confident in myself. Like I'm totally fine being in my own like space. I mean, just look at this, bro. Like I'm talking to my iPad for like 20 plus minutes. Like, yo, I don't know. Like, I feel like it takes a certain level of like comfortability in oneself to be able to like hang by yourself for long periods of time. And that's because that's what I do. Like, the last few years when I was like commuting to school, like the 2 hour commute, like all I had was myself. So it's like, why would I be self-conscious when it's like, bro, it's me. Like I think of like making yourself as like a created character, bro. Like gain weight, go to the gym, you're just upping your attributes, and then a personality is something that can be shifted throughout time. And so the way I was last year is definitely not the way I am this year, and like so many people can attest to it. But I kind of just rambled about like love and shit. Yeah, this is this is Tozzy's rambles, I guess. But moral of the story, if you're in a relationship, that's amazing for you. Do your thing, don't cheat, just be loyal. Make sure that the person you're in a relationship with gets the attention and respect and love that they deserve, and make sure that it's reciprocated. Because at the end of the day, if you love your woman and your woman is not fucking with you like that, you just a bitch, bro. Respectfully, you gotta get up out of that and find a woman that loves you. The same thing for men. Women, if you were rocking with this nigga and this nigga is not giving you attention, but you're out here texting him every day, letting him know where you're at, listen, you just gotta be better. And I completely understand, like, oh, but he loves me, he does this and that. Like, yo, respectfully, if I want someone to stay around, I'm gonna say the bare minimum to get that woman to stay around. Like that is not love, that is manipulation. Point blank. Um, if you're single, that's perfectly fine. Whatever the reasons are. If it comes from like me being a socially awkward kid to like now not knowing how to talk to women, or like maybe just saying that for jokes, but realistically I just get nervous around specific women, that's fine. If it's like a personal choice, you're like, yo, no, I'm gonna pursue my educational prowess, I'm gonna go do my thing educationally and get the fuck up out of here. I completely understand that one. If it's just like, yo, I'm not ready. Like I don't want to do a relationship. And I'm the same way. Like I don't want a relationship right now, but if it falls in my lap, if it falls in my lap, you know what I'm saying? Nah, but like, yo, honestly, at the end of the day, you got yourself. So learn to know yourself. Learn what you like, learn what you don't like, learn what you got to do. Because at the end of the day, you finna grind out for yourself, little nigga. No one's doing that for you. I I'm glad we've come to this understanding. Yeah, that's all I got. Thank you so much for pulling up to the third episode of Toz Talks. I'm so sorry for the extended uh absence. I'm gonna keep trying to do my thing though. Like I really like this, and I need more topics because this was just like straight off the dome, like rambling. But like yeah, no, thank you so much for pulling up. I appreciate you for real. Uh, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.